believe in things. You know, Santa, and yes, the elves did come to the house, and Daddy is going to use that Peloton bike, I promise. I can't convince my son to believe that the Raiders are going to beat the Chiefs. I tried. And he said, no, there's no way. He's 5.
Calvin, Doug Martin is really...
But the defense isn't playing really well, Calvin. Come on now. Doug Martin's had 100 yards.
Minitron's out.
Minitron's out. My son, Calvin. I think the Chiefs, even though they're not playing that great, it's still the Raiders. I know it's a rivalry game. They're at home. I think the Chiefs take care of business. Clinch.
Andy Reid is one of the great motivators that we've seen. And the fact that he's had these guys playing at such a high level all season, of course, they've had their moments where they didn't look like themselves. But I'm pretty sure he's talking to the team, getting these guys ready for a postseason run. And you have to end the season on a hot streak. You don't want to fall into the playoffs not playing at your high point. So for me, it is about these guys going in and lighting up the skies.
Okay.
And I don't think that the Raiders, as much as they've been, I guess, looking better at the end of the season, they're not going to give these guys a run for
the firepower, right? I mean, rivalry game, I don't know.
Let's look at it from the Chiefs fans' standpoint. Every year, we're great in September, October, November. December, we're and then January, we something down our leg. I would say right now, Chiefs fans are completely shook. I could sense it online.
Think so?
Yeah. You're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, there is 2 games in a row now where the defense could not make a key stop. They were up 14 points on the Chargers in the fourth quarter, and they gave it away. And then last week, the Seahawks just kept on getting that 10-point lead, and they would score and make it a 3-point game.
Right.
And then they could not stop anyone. So if I am a Chiefs fan, I know this game feels like it is just a forgiven thing. It's just an understandable thing. You need to lay it on them. You need to win by 30. Your defense needs to shut down the Raiders because you cannot go into the playoffs. God forbid you lose 3 games in a row going into that's bad.
Yeah,
then you think about if you even gave up 40 points or 30 points or 25 points, you're nervous about your defense going into that divisional round because divisional round, even if you win and you give up coming to you right now is either going to be the Texans, the Chargers, it could be the Steelers, it could be the Ravens again, who
all dangerous teams.
All dangerous teams, and that Chiefs defense right now is among the worst units in the entire league.
So you two are telling me that even though the Raiders look better, the Chiefs only beat them by 7 points the first time they played this year. And just the Raiders beating the Steelers, an impressive win there. That's a high-powered offense that's putting up a lot of points. You guys think there's no chance the Raiders can win this game?
I think there's a chance. I do. But I think the Chiefs will.
I don't think there's a chance.
No
I believe
chance.
Andy Reid is going to motivate these, just like Trey is saying. We're saying the same thing. He's going to motivate these guys, and they're going to play like this is the middle of the season.
2 things.
They're trying to catch the rhythm
I think
back.
it's going to be a great game.
2 things at play. Mahomes is going for the MVP, so 6 touchdowns is something that he might want to throw. The other thing is the defense is a joke right now. You need to come into playoffs being a little better. They need to stop the Raiders. I think if they win 35-31, that's not good. They need to win
convincingly.
If the Chiefs lose this game, they shouldn't be in the playoffs. Come on. You're out. No, come on. You can't lose this one.
Last one here. The Ravens will clinch the AFC North with a win against the Browns in Baltimore. If they lose, though, the Steelers can take the division with their win against the Bengals. The Ravens are the team in control of their destiny here. Shriggs, you saw this team up close and personal on Saturday in the StubHub, and you were really impressed by them. I can tell just how you talk about it.
Yeah, and they looked amazing on the road, and they dominated. They played Ravens football. Basically, they walked into an opponent's building and said, we're going to dictate how this game is going to be played from start to finish, and you can either win it or you can't. The Chargers could not play with the Ravens. Baker Mayfield scares the living daylights out of me if I'm a Ravens fan. Because last year, Tyler Boyd killed you, and Andy Dalton hits him, and that's how that season ends. Here comes Baker Mayfield, maybe more bravado than any quarterback we've ever seen in the NFL's history, walking in here with all the confidence in the world, and he's looking across the room saying, oh, the number 1 defense? Ha! Let me do my thing. There are so many things the Browns have going for them. Greg Williams maybe coaching for a job next year. Freddie Kitchens trying to show that he is an offensive genius. And the Browns trying to finish the season with 8 wins. I am scared of the Browns, and I would be petrified if I'm a Ravens fan. That said, I think they get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, the Browns have a lot of things going for them. The Ravens. The Ravens are incredible. I just saw what they did against the Chargers. I would pick them against almost any team in the league.
Yeah.
I think there's the teams that you don't want into the Royal Rumble. In the NFC, it's the Eagles, and the AFC, it's the Ravens. I think every other team in the AFC says, please don't have Baltimore, please, because the Browns beat them, but they didn't beat these Ravens. They beat the Flacco. This is a different, Peter, as you said yesterday, it's a different sport. I like Baltimore in this game.
It's a different sport. That was a different game. Baker Mayfield is a different man. I agree with Shrakes.
Shoot your shot.
This is the game. If any game is going to shock anybody, it's going to be the Browns beating the Ravens. Because Baker Mayfield is walking in and he isn't scared of one soul on this planet. He doesn't care about storylines. He doesn't care about history. He doesn't care about ranking.
Lamar's not scared either.
No, I get it. And I'm not saying he is.
Can I set the scene a little bit? It's going to be 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yes.
Nance and Romo on the call. It's going to be the big CBS Showcase game. Everyone's going to be watching. Baker Mayfield rises to the occasion.
He loves this stuff, man.
This Ravens defense, come on. You're saying the Browns are going to win. You're saying the Ravens are going to get it.
I'm not saying the Browns are going to win. I'm not saying the Browns are going to win. I'm saying if there's any game that's going to upset and shake up the week, it's going to be Browns over Ravens.
Who's winning this game?
I would go to the Ravens. Ravens are a better team. But I'm just saying, if there's an upset to happen, Baker Mayfield is going to be behind it. He is there to spoil until Baker Mayfield wins the Lombardi, he will ruin everybody's season.
Week 17, the Browns are in a game that matters, and they're not like some crazy 2-13 team that's going to just shock the world. They can go and finish the season with 8 wins.
Crazy.
It's unbelievable, and that's a lot to play for.
Ravens have won 5 of the last 6, though, with Lamar. Different team with them. They're on fire. I think this is and I like Baker Mayfield, a humbling week for him.
Yeah.
Up against this Ravens defense that made Phillip Rivers look like the old Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
Just a week ago.
I'm into it.
Defense is crazy. All right, week 17, the final opportunity for the MVP candidates to make their closing